You can find shared accommodations for $300 to $400, and you will get unlimited calling, unlimited texting, and also about 5 to 10 gigs of data depending. You will also be able to save all of your GIC money and use the $10,000 of GIC towards the tuition fee of your next semester. What's up YouTube, it's Shivansh here. So in today's video, we'll be talking about monthly expenses for international students in Canada. I already have a video on my channel about monthly expenses for full-time working professionals in Canada, but this video is especially made for students because when we come to Canada as an international student, our budget is a big concern because our earning potential is limited and we also want to minimize our expenses. So in this video, I will give you a breakdown of what you can expect to pay every single month for your expenses, and throughout this video, I will also give you some tips on how you can save some money as an international student in Canada. And later, towards the end of this video, I will also tell you how you can plan your monthly budgeting so that you don't have to use your GIC money and you can use all that GIC amount towards the tuition fee of your third semester. This video is going to be super useful for all you students out there, so make sure to watch this video till the very end. Also, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to watch more such videos about studying and working in Canada. Now with that being said, let's start this video. So first of all, let's talk about the biggest chunk of your monthly expenses, and that will be your monthly rent. So housing is super expensive in Canada, and especially with the current market conditions, the rents are only going to go up in the future as well. Your average monthly rent can range from $350 all the way to $900 depending on where exactly you choose to live and if you are living in sharing or not. Because if you live in a shared accommodation, for example, if you're sharing a room with someone, then your rent will definitely be on the lower end of that range. And if you want to have the full room for yourself, then you definitely have to pay a lot more. So students mainly have two options when it comes to renting. One is that they can choose to live on campus, and the second option is to find an off-campus accommodation. Now on campus is definitely more expensive as compared to off campus because your university or college will charge you some extra money or a premium because of the convenience that you get by living on campus. So you just have to walk for 5 minutes to get to your classes, and you don't have to spend 30 minutes or 1 hour in public transportation just to get to your college. So you need to decide whether the convenience of living on campus is actually worth it to spend that extra money in rent. The rent also depends on your location. So if your college is in downtown Toronto and if you want to live in downtown or near your campus, then your rent will definitely be on the higher side. But if you choose to live a little far away, for example in Mississauga or Brampton, then your rent will be cheaper. A pro tip for you is that if you are planning to come to Canada as an international student, then you should choose a college that is located in less populated cities such as Windsor or Sudbury or Thunder Bay, etc. Because in these smaller cities, you can find shared accommodations for $300 to $400, and you can save on a lot of money in rent by choosing to live in a smaller city in the beginning, and that will help you save on a lot of money during your study years. And then later on, once you graduate and you have a full-time job, at that time you can move to a bigger city because then you will be able to afford a higher rent. Okay, so now let's talk about your transportation expenses. So how much you will spend on your transportation every single month depends on your exact situation and the city that you live in. So if you live in a smaller city like London or Windsor, basically not in downtown Toronto, then your monthly bus pass or your transit pass will be included in your college fee and you will not have to pay anything extra for transportation. But if your college is in downtown Toronto, then your monthly bus pass will not be included in your college fee and you will have to get a Presto card to travel in and around the city, and you will have to pay $120 every single month for your transit pass. So as a student, if you choose to live in a smaller city, then you will also save on your transportation expenses in addition to your rent. And if you are thinking about buying a car when you come to Canada, then as an international student, I would not recommend you to buy a car, because if you buy a car, then your monthly car expenses will be from $800 to $1,200, which is definitely a lot, and it will also put a lot of pressure on you because you also have to manage your other expenses and possibly have to pay for your next semester's fee. The next expense on the list is your phone bill. So phone plans in Canada are actually pretty expensive as compared to India, and also since there is no Reliance Jio here, the data is also very expensive. Now, if you bring your own phone from India, then your monthly phone expenses will be around $45, which is okay because you will get unlimited calling, unlimited texting, and also about 5 to 10 gigs of data depending on the plan you choose. But if you buy your phone from Canada, for example, a lot of international students want to buy an iPhone as soon as they reach Canada. So in that case, your monthly phone expenses can be as high as $120. So if you are coming as a student and you already have a decent working phone from India, then I would not recommend you to buy a new phone in Canada because it will be too expensive for you and you will have to pay $60 to $70 extra every single month for 2 years just to pay off that phone. So that's another way to save money as a student. Now let's talk about your most important monthly expense, and that is food. Food expenses are important because they can vary from person to person and it can be more or less for you depending on your food or eating habits. So if I talk about myself, then when I was a student, I used to spend $150 to $200 every month on groceries. I tried to mostly cook my own meals and eat at home, and I only used to eat from outside on the weekends. So you can say that my eating out expenses were around $100 every month. So in total, I used to spend about $300 every single month on food. But this number can be more for you if you eat from outside more frequently, because eating from outside is definitely more expensive as compared to cooking at home. So you will have to make that decision about how much you want to spend on food. Okay, so the last thing on the expense list is miscellaneous items. Now this can include pretty much anything, whether you want to do some shopping or buy a new winter jacket or a new pair of headphones. All this can be included under this category. As a student, if you have about $100 every single month for shopping, then I think that is a pretty realistic number, because as a student, you should only buy the things that you actually need and try to save as much as possible rather than spending money on expensive things that are not even required. So don't make that mistake and don't go over your budget for shopping. Okay, so if we do a total of all the different expense categories and if you also follow my advice of trying to save as much as possible, then your monthly expenses will be $500 for your rent, $50 for your phone bill, $300 for your food, and $100 for shopping. So in total, your expenses will be around $950 every single month. And as an international student in Canada, you are allowed to work for 20 hours per week. And if we talk about Ontario, where the minimum wage is $15 per hour, then you can easily earn just over $1,000 every single month after taxes. So if your monthly expenses are $950 and you are able to earn $1,000 or $1,050, then you will also be able to save up to $100 every single month. And this, I think, is the right way to budget your expenses as an international student, because if you can restrict your expenses to less than $1,000 every month, then you will be able to manage your expenses very easily, and that too without any pressure. And you will also be able to save all of your GIC money and use the $10,000 of GIC towards the tuition fee of your next semester. So I hope now you have an idea about how much you will be spending every single month as an international student in Canada, and how should you budget your expenses so that you can maximize your savings. And if you have any questions, then feel free to comment below. And if you want to have a chat with me, then you can also follow me on Instagram at Singla119, and I'll be happy to answer all your questions. Also, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more such videos about studying and working in Canada. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.